Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Coppercoin's Coin Roll Hunt Reveal E165, a 1971p plastic tubed roll of one of those pipe bomb rolls. I actually cracked the end of it open to see if I was going to be able to get the coins out or have to cut them out. And I think I'll be able to get them out, so I'll do that here now after we get a couple people in. Doing this early today. I got my COVID booster, and it's just starting to kick in, so figure the earlier I get this done, the better. I draw the lucky chip, and it is 46. And I'm going to get this roll out of here. Ooh, the tube cracked. That's why. No wonder it came out. Yeah. But I'm going to go on vacation and going to some coin shows and stuff, so better to be prepared. And I have a few friends that are doctors, and the consensus among them all, plus my personal doctor, is to get it. So I decided to go get it. I think it'll be a yearly thing, to be honest with you. Just another flu shot. I wouldn't be surprised to see them give flu shots and COVID shots together pretty soon, like in the same shot. Hey, Frostbite, how are you today, Carl? Hope all is going well. All right, we've got them all out of the tube, so we will get things rolling here. And with that, coin number 1 is for Paul Hampton. Right, these tubes are like usually impossible. This one, I was shocked it came out so easy. Well, that was because it was cracked. All right. And I'm not sure what that is. It's some sort of die deterioration. But it's only like on the 71 and 72s. We will look at about the first 10 reverses. There is no double die reverses known for 1971. And I would say if there was, it would be like a type 6. Or no, type 4. Class 4. Which would be either a bar over here in one of these columns or an extra roof. See, this has got that grain, almost looks like sand on the coins. Coin number 2. I was happy I found these when I got them. Got 5 rolls of them. Guys have been saying you wanted a 71. Wow. Very interesting. Almost a floating roof and no FGs on these too. Now, did I see that, or did I hear that they actually took those out of the Cherry Picker's Guide now? And then they inserted the Spitting Eagle Washington Quarter? Hey, Dan, how are you? This is the first roll that I've done that you are in, sir. A little clash behind the back or shoulder there. Earlier die state. Coin number 4 goes to Parvis. There are quite a few. I think 6 or 7 double die obverses. A couple of them are really nice. Yeah, I started it a little bit early. I got vaccinated this morning for COVID, and I feel the shot kicking in a little bit. And figured the sooner I get this done, the better I'll be. I usually don't get too bad of reactions from it, though. So I guess I'm lucky as far as that goes. Yeah, I've thought I had it a couple times. As far as I know, I've never had it yet. But I've been tested probably 3 or 4 times, and I've always had something else. There's one of those ones with that dye deterioration. I think I have heard somebody call it granular or something dye deterioration, but I'm not certain of the term, if it's accurate or not. You are not in this roll, Frostbite. Some people just can't. Some people are allergic to the stuff that's in it, or they're immune compromised. There's a bunch of reasons why they can't. And that just, to me, makes it more important for the people that can to do it for the people who can't. To me, it's not that big of a deal, but it is freedom, personal freedom, I guess. I don't have too strong of an opinion on it. Coin number 8 goes to Mickey. And nothing so far, which is, I guess this is nothing that's unexpected. I have searched a lot of 71 rolls, and I think I've only found double dies in one of them. Actually, 2 of them. I found a bar 7 in some, and I have found DDO number 2. This deterioration just is very interesting to me. It almost looks like honeycombs. I wish I knew the exact answer on it. I'll have to ask Chuck if he knows. Right? Coin number 10 is for Sireg. This is the last one we're going to look at the reverses on. Unless I see a die that I definitely don't recognize. Well, that's a good thing, Dan. I've known a lot of people that really kind of got messed up, especially at the beginning. Not so much now. Basically, all my neighbors in the last month seem to have had it. But when it first started, where I lived in Michigan, my old neighbors, there was a family next door that 4 of the 5 people that lived there ended up passing away one day apart. It was awful. And it seems like people I knew then that got it, a lot more were hospitalized. I haven't heard of anybody that I know being hospitalized lately for it. They've just gotten and have been sick for a week or two. So maybe it's our immune systems are getting, we have base immunity building up. That's what they say happened with the influenza. And it makes sense. I mean, our bodies do that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Dan. I know my one neighbor, he ended up going on disability from it. He used to work in his yard and do all this stuff, and he has a hard time making it from his front door to his car now. Got that long COVID and it damaged his lungs. Next coin for Taco John. But, it just reminds me, like I see that T there, just like a T with a bunch of bees flying around it. Sure thing, Frostbite. Number 13, right? The M in America. That would be on the reverse. What am I looking for? Coin 12. Well, look at that for you. And then I'm going to look at one more, because the last one I remember actually looking at the reverse on was this coin. That one's actually really early die state. That's perfect. Coin 15 for Doug. How's the eyes doing, Frostbite? Getting used to light and everything? Oh, no worries. Hey, I enjoy it when people see stuff because I do miss things. We live in an imperfect world. That's great to hear. I expect big things out of you. Coin 17 goes to Josie. It's not that big of worries. Something tells me you'll be an addict though, so. Coin 18 is for Paul Hampton. I've already started getting ready for I go on the vacation the end of November, and already decided what I'm going to bring down to do. Might actually bring stuff and edit web pages while I'm on vacation. Try to get caught up. Next coin is for Dan. See if we can get Dan something good. Normal coin. Coin number 20 goes to Jim. See if I turn this light up. If this. There we go. That's too bright up there, though. Oh, you know, if I don't have something to do, I'm on vacation, I'll just go crazy. And I mean, I might just take a bunch of coins and search a bunch of coins. But I've done that, and literally, they're still in the rolls, unattributed. Coin 22, Mark Thomas. Some of these coins got some toning on them, but some of them are really kind of nice as far as the strike goes. Ah, very cool. I might be able to get some RPM photos together for you. I think I got a bunch of I know I got a bunch of dime RPMs. I just got to find them. I know I got the 47 S over Ds, I think they are. I just don't know where they're at. I've got both of them though. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. So you're doing the about the 82p no mint mark dime. Which is, you know, I always wondered, while after 1982, they started putting P mint marks. And I always wondered why where the people got that no mint mark is valuable. I mean, that's something that you would think, as long as that's been out. Right. That people would know about it. Got some machine from the rolling machine here, or counter. I've seen this die a bunch of times. It actually should be known as Philadelphia instead of plain. And that is, I mean, I know people for years and years and years have always called the Philadelphia cents plain. And I don't really understand that either. Of course, that's coming from a guy that uses the term unkish, so. But it's starting to spread. I told Chuck that, and the first time he heard it, he was like, what's that supposed to mean? And I explained it to him, and he goes, hey, that's actually a pretty good term. I know. eBay, you know, I hate to say it, because in the year from like 1999 to 2005, I made my living off of eBay, basically. And it was very, very easy to do 20 or 30 packages a day. And now it's almost toxic. It's almost a dangerous place to sell. Well, as far as that goes, there's a lot of no mint mark coins that could be minted at any of the mints. And from what I understand, there's Philadelphia coins that are minted at the San Francisco Mint too. So when they need coins of a certain denomination, they will run them at San Francisco or West Point. I was unaware, though. It just came to light out of some record request that West Point has been making circulation coins for many, many years, even in the 60s and 70s. They always kind of took the overflow. They just never had their own mint mark. But I don't think they were actually an official branch of the U.S. Mint until recently. Yeah, but when they were minted with the meaning that they were supposed to have come from the Philadelphia Mint. The actual idea that they were minted somewhere else, that I don't think was supposed to be in public record. That was supposed to be in the none of your business record. That the mint needed coins and the mint did what they had to do to make coins. So, I mean, that's a question that you really have to dig into, like do a Freedom of Information Act and find out who actually requested the coins from there and why, because it should be a public record somewhere. That's right, JM, they were. Not the cents. The cents were never supposed to have a P mint mark, as far as I know. But I heard even to this day, they do that, and it wouldn't surprise me if you looked very deeply into it, that San Francisco mints coins that have the Denver mint mark on it. It wouldn't surprise me a bit. They're just doing overflow for production, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, like technically these coins here, I'm not sure if they did it in 71, but they could have. But I know that I read that somebody did a Freedom of Information and they found out that there was many years that the other mints struck coins, but I heard that they struck 64D quarters at all the mints except for Philadelphia. So, but I could be mistaken. You know, you hear a lot of things. I just never really put too much thought into it because by association, a no mint mark coin was always from Philadelphia. All the way back into the 1800s. I mean, that's almost like saying, I bought a Ford Focus. It's really made in Mexico, but they say it's made in the United States. But somewhere on that car, it says it's made in Mexico. You know, so there's a document somewhere. And actually, it's easier than that. You just look at the first digit of the VIN number, and you can tell where the car was made. So I guess you're gonna, I mean, it's kind of a, I don't know, it's a great subject, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of differing opinions. It's just like in genetics. I used to breed tropical fish. And you always had the spreaders and the lumpers. People that were like, well, this species from 800, this fish is from 800 yards from where the other fish, and it's not totally genetically the same. So they want to make a new species out of it, even though it looks identical. And they were the spreaders. And then the lumpers were like basically anything in this whole country is the same. And I think in coins you're going to have the same thing with that. You're going to have people just go, eh. And then everybody's going to want to, of course, finding out where a coin, like this coin right here, finding out, say that you get a Freedom of Information Act and it says 2 million pennies were minted at the West Point Mint. And you could find out that information, I'm sure. You're never going to be able to tell which ones. So ultimately, they're all Philadelphia Mint coins, in my opinion. Because you can't put the label on it. It's just like 65, 66, 67. For years, they were all just called Philadelphia. They weren't called plain. And they were minted at all three mints. You know, that plain thing was just not a term. When I first started collecting, but it's an interesting thing. I wish there was a way to find out what coins were struck where. Because that would be a whole new level of collectability when you find that something had, 100,000 coins run at a different mint, and this is how you can tell them apart. But I don't ever see that happening. That's right, assuming that they left a marker there intentionally to know. Which, I mean, that's possible too. Working at Ford, there was a lot of little stuff like that done in engineering. Marks left, put on things. And normally you wouldn't know unless you knew about the mark. So... And I was watching a thing on Smokey and the Bandit yesterday. They were talking about the 4 Trans Ams that General Motors gave the production company. They were built in the middle of 1976 using parts, well, 3 of them anyways, using parts that were going to be going on the 77. So 3 of them, the chassis, drivetrain, everything's actually 76. But the exterior, fascia, and trim were all going to be in 77. And then the last one, which was the actual show car, was a pre-production 77. So it was one that was basically built up by engineers as a final example before they went to production. So none of the cars were actually 1977 Trans Ams. They were actually 76s. Well, 3 76s and one experimental car. Oh, yes. Congratulations, Taco John. Do I think the dies still exist? I've often wondered about, did they save dies from different years? Because I can tell you that the automotive production companies have dies from years because that's how they make service parts. But, with money being money, I almost think that the mint would destroy anything except for maybe one piece to put in their collection. So just in case, for no theft and stuff like that. So I would assume there's not trays full of dies sitting around anymore. You know, from every year. I think they have a tray and they use it and then they deface the ones that they don't use. If there's any left. They might even use them all up. There's another fact. They struck 1964 coins all the way into 66. Because 64 coins were struck on silver, and they used all the silver planchets that they had, but they couldn't strike them on 65 or 66, which makes me, why couldn't one of those planchets slip in and somebody find a 65 struck on 90% silver? You know, there's a lot of stuff that you can find. There's actually quite a bit of information on that subject of them striking 64 coins into the middle 60s. And I know, like, they've got like museums, and they show dies from certain coins in that museum. So I'm sure there's a few of them laying around, but I'm sure that there's been a tooling mark put on them or something, so they know if somebody strikes a coin with those dies. If they were to get stolen or something like that, I'm sure that they've put an identifying mark somewhere on them. I mean, I think I was talking to you, Frosty, about trade dollars. How everybody submits trade dollars, and they always come back. They look beautiful, and they always come back with tooled after minting or after production tooling marks. I actually was talking to somebody about that, and they had a great excuse for that. That a lot of those trade dollars were used by companies, and they wanted to track their own dollars, so they would put little marks in there to keep track of their money. So you can have a beautiful dollar that has a big gouge in the center of it that was put there on purpose, because they were actually used for money. All right. Well, that's it. And with nothing dud roll, but to be expected for a 71p. But we did get to look through a 71p, which is a good thing. I want to thank everybody for joining on chop marks. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They put little chop marks in, and you'll send them to PCGS or NGC, and that'll put them in the body bag. They come back not graded. So, but I want to thank you for joining. I think my next reveal will be on the 7th, probably about 1 o'clock. Then I'll do one on the 8th, and then I'll do one on the 9th before the reveal show. So, but thanks again for joining, and I will see everybody soon. I might see people on YouTube somewhere this afternoon. I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for joining. Bye.